G'day guys, welcome to Dinkum DIY. Today we're going to be making a Christmas DIY. We will be making a North Pole Christmas stocking holder. So for that we'll need 90 by 90 pine. I bought the 1.2 metre, dropped down to 900 because that's the height I wanted. A decorative top. A top and bottom for the pole. Now, I have pre-drilled this one at 25mm through the centre. I've also pre-drilled it for 2mm for the screws to fix it to the top. This one I've pre-drilled at 3mm for the base. You'll also need 4 decorative hooks to hang your Christmas stockings on, and some screws. So I've got a 10 gauge by 75 for the base, timber screw, 8 gauge by 45 for the top, and the supplied screws for the hook. Now, I started off with a 1.2 long, 12mm thick by 235mm across board, which I cut down to a 125 by 125mm square and a 235 by 235mm square. Now, to make things easier, I have measured down already where I want my hook to start and where the holes will be. Now I'll center punch those so it's easy to get the hooks in at the end. Simple as that for a center punch. This will make it easier for the screws to go in, as they'll already have somewhere to go hold of, and you'll know where your holes have to go. Now, I've already centered where my top is by marking with a T and the base with a B, so I know where I'm going. I've already marked out where the part needs to be, and also where on my project is the top and the bottom. So let's go ahead and line that up. Now, make sure you don't forget your wood glue before you start the project. Make sure it's all free of all the goo and dried glue and everything else that's around the nozzle before you start. You don't want uneven glue amounts. Also, you'll need your drill or screwdriver to do this project if you have already pre-drilled all the way through. Add a little bit of glue across the base where you have marked your project out to be. Carefully lining it up because I need pre-marked areas. Now, using a Phillips 2 head, putting the 75mm 10 gauge timber screws in, holding the work project nice and firmly. Just start off slowly. Not going too fast because you don't want that to happen. So the project didn't move that much. Let's start putting the other ones in first, before we tighten them all up. Now, if you want the screws to be flush, just screw them in normally. Otherwise, if you want them to be below the surface so you can putty over the top, use a countersink bit first to countersink them in. If your screws aren't going in as easily, you can go and get your impact driver, just to give them a bit more of a force, as the percussion function will help it go in a bit easier. There we go, nice and easy. So, flip your work project over. There we go, we've got to start. Now, as you're going, you can use your level. Just check that you're level, spot on. You can also check your sides to make sure that you're vertically level. We're going good so far. Now, to find the exact center of this, I did do a 8-way cross so I could find the exact center of this before I drilled my 25mm hole. I've also then measured in to the edge of where my decorative top will be. Then I've measured in 10 millimeters from there. So then I am between the center hole and the end cap where my screw will be. So that will be hidden by the top. So again, putting on your glue, lining it up perfectly. Now don't worry too much if the glue's moving around, because that will all be held in place later by the screws. Checking as I'm going to make sure that the top hasn't moved. I'll now do the other side. There we are. Now these ones you do want to be below the surface, as the decorative bit will sit up if they're not. So there we go. So mine's a little bit too long at the moment. So I'm going to get my Ryobi cat sander out. Plugging it in. And I'll just be shaving off this little end here just to make it nice and smooth. There we go. Now, if you do have a problem with the gap here, you can sand back the underside here, make it nice and flush. Mine is a bit rough, but I'm using that to my advantage to hold the glue in place. I don't mind the edge gap there. If you just glue it together and then you realise that you don't like that edge gap there, you can get a bit of timber putty filler, fill that gap in and then just nicely sand it. Otherwise that will be hidden by the paint later. So, let's put a bit of glue in the bottom of the hole and then some on the project, because this will make it easier. Now, I'm not fixing the head to the top with any screws or nails. This is for ease of use. There we go. Now you'll let that sit for 24 hours. That is a bit of a long time, I understand, because this glue is of cheaper quality. It does need that longer time. Other glues will only need 2 hours. You let it set. Once it's all together, you can then sand it back on any of the edges that are imperfected. Maybe even give it a nice trimming around the top here if you want to give it a beveled edge. Attach any decorative parts you want, so you can put in some underlay here, some maybe 25 by 25 mil quad, even some cornicing, give that a nice edge. You can do the same to the bottom as well to make it look a box effect. You can even get some right angled timber and you can put it off the edge. But personally I like this look myself, the nice simple straightforward look. So this is what I'll be sticking with while I finish the project. And at the end I will also supply a link, which should be in the description below, that will also send you to my Pinterest page where I've gotten a lot of my ideas for this project. Now we'll wait the 24 hours and when we come back we'll be able to ready to paint. Alright guys, it's been 24 hours. I've done my first coat of spray in a matte white from Rust-Oleum 2X, so undercoat and paint in one. So that's one coat on plain pine. So now I'm going to get ready to do my second coat to finish it off, and then I'll check any imperfections after 24 hours for my second coat, give it a light sand if I need to, then come back and do the rest. Alright guys, we'll leave that for 24 hours, come back after it's dried, we'll give it a sand if we need to, and then we'll see how we go from there. Alrighty guys, it's been 24 hours, we've let it dry. Surprisingly not a lot of run marks at all. There is a lot of indentations on the side here that have been caused by the spluttering of the spray paint, but other than that it's quite good. I'll bring these in and let you have a close up look. we're going to grab the 1200 grit wet and dry sandpaper. Just give it a very nice little touch up over the edges and give it one last coat. And then it'll be ready for hooks and finishing. Alright guys, we'll leave that sit for about 15-20 minutes. We'll come back when it's touch dry. And then we'll screw the solid brass chrome plated hooks on. And we'll be finished with it. Alrighty guys. A brief interim guys. After doing that coat of spray paint, I tried cutting down the leftover part of the 90 by 90 stump and ended up in the hospital. Decided to cut the top part of my thumb off with the table saw. So after this, it'll be a 24-hour heal. I will then screw the eyelets onto the stump for the hooks. Sorry, painkillers are kicking in. And once we've done that, we will finish it off and it'll be all good to go. Alrighty guys. Alrighty guys, so after a brief trip to the hospital, I'm back home where I've had tetanus, the tetanus shot, sorry. I've had some painkillers and I've got 8 stitches. So it's going to be about 4 weeks before I can do any more DIYs properly, so I'm going to have to use Cara to do the rest of the drilling for me. So now we're going to attach these hooks onto the side base to finish her off, and then we'll be done. Alrighty guys. Alrighty guys, so that's it completely fixed together. We had a couple of threaded screws and things like that. That's alright, we don't mind that. There's a couple little holes where we've slipped. It all adds to the character. It's a DIY project. It doesn't have to be perfect. See, even he's loving it. Nice. See, nice. Is it a thumbs up? Yeah. Play. So that's how I'm leaving mine. But you can also wrap it with some ribbon, paint it. As I said before, when we were making it, you can put some edging on here. I'll add a link to the description below again about my Pinterest so you can see other designs and ideas. In total, this project has cost probably about $50, give or take. Have a very Merry Christmas. Hit the subscribe button below. Hit the like button if you like this video. And hit that little bell so you get reminded when the next video is coming up. Alrighty guys, stay fair, Dinkum.